India is taking away 30% of your hard-earned revenue for doing business in this country. Before I tell you how to save that 30% tax, I would like to first introduce on who we are. Icons Graph, a private limited company that specializes in organization strategy. That is a plan that specifies how your business should allocate resources. Business due diligence, that is the organization practice of prudence by carefully addressing associated costs and risk. Mergers and acquisitions, the process of one company acquiring the other company either through the purchase of shares or via a leveraged buyout. Then, portfolio risk management, a process that involves identifying, assessing, measuring, and managing risk of your stock market portfolio. Angel funding. In case if your company or a startup is in need of funding, we help in that too. Market technical analysis, the process of examining and predicting price movement in the financial market. Market demand study, the study that companies use to analyze and understand how much consumer demand exists for a product or service. And lastly, IPO due diligence and compliance. That is the steps needed to be taken by a company that wants to do an initial public offering and the laws and regulations that are laid down by the authorities. We help in all of these activities. Now we will shift gears and try to understand how a startup can save an average 30% of its operational revenue. That can add to the liquidity of the startup in the initial stages. Startup India Scheme, a Government of India initiative for generation of employment and creation of wealth. The Startup India portal is India's largest entrepreneurship platform that allows startups to network, access free tools and resources, and participate in programs and challenges. Through,
Morning,
the,
morning.
through this
So,
portal, a startup can use their vast online directory to connect with stakeholders like investors, mentors, incubators, accelerators, and fellow startups in the Indian startup ecosystem. The portal can also access resources like knowledge banks for startups, partnered services, templates for every situations, online courses, and innovation challenges. Challenges in which startups can participate and win cash prize, mentorship support, and seed funding, etc. Till date, 4,83,000 startups have been registered. Just imagine the pool of resources that is created. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the other benefits that will actually save us money. Of course, one can always say that a shared pool of resources of over 4,83,000 companies is already quite beneficial. But let's move on to the crux of the benefits you get when your startup is registered and recognized by the Startup India portal. The first one is self-certification. Startups shall be allowed to self-certify compliance for 3 labor laws and 6 environmental laws through a simple online procedure. All you need is an internet connection. When it comes to the labor laws, no inspection will be conducted for a period of 5 years. And in case of environmental laws, startups that fall under the white category, no random checks would be carried out in those cases. The next one is patent application or an IPR application. One of the major advantages of a startup registered with the scheme is the assistance the inventors get while filing for the patent application. The benefits are fast tracking of patent application, a panel of facilitators to assist in filing of the IPR application. The government of India will bear the facilitation cost and a rebate on filing the application. The third one is easy winding up of the company. Did you know that under this scheme, your startup, if it has simple debt structure, can be wound up under 90 days of filing an application for insolvency? It is true. And additionally, an insolvency professional shall be appointed for the startup, who shall thereafter be in charge of the company. The fourth one, easier public procurement norms. The startup recognized under this scheme get an opportunity to list their products in an e-marketplace set up by the government. The other benefit is that the startups are exempt from EMD, that is earnest money deposit, basically the amount a buyer pays to show that his interest in the goods is genuine. The fifth benefit is to the investors that invest in your startup. Exemption under Section 56 of the Income Tax Act. Investment into eligible startups by the listed companies with a net worth of more than 100 crores or a turnover of more than 250 crores are exempted from tax. Even consideration of shares received by the eligible startups shall be exempt up to an aggregate limit of 25 crores. Last but certainly not the least, the tax exemption under Section 80 IAC. Post getting recognition, a startup may apply for tax exemption under Section 80 IAC of the Indian Income Tax Act. Post getting clearance for the tax exemption, the startup can avail a tax holiday of 3 consecutive financial years out of the first 10 years since its incorporation. Next, let's look at which all startups are eligible to be recognized under the Startup India scheme. First and foremost, the company should not be older than 10 years. Earlier, it was 7 years, but to give more opportunities to semi-established companies, the government changed it from 7 years to 10 years. Private limited company or limited liability partnerships. A public limited company is not allowed to be a part of the scheme. Third one, a startup by definition is a company or a project undertaken by an entrepreneur who have found a way to solve an existing problem. And thus, earning revenue is generally the secondary goal. And so, a company should not have an annual turnover of more than 100 crores. Next is the company should be an original identity, an original entity. The entity should not be formed by splitting up or should not be a subsidiary of any company. And lastly, the most important, there should be an innovative product or a product that can actually add value to the consumers. Once your startup is registered on the portal, the next step is to get recognized under the Department for Promotion of Industry and Industrial Trade. That is the DPIIT. Getting recognized under the DPIIT requires some basic company documents like the, the entity details, like the name of your entity, the industry and the sector it belongs to, and the PAN number of the entity. Next is the full office address of the company. Then the details of the authorized representatives, like the name, designation, mobile number, and email ID of the representatives. Fourth one is details of the directors and partners. The fifth one is the information required, like the number of employees, the IPR application status, and a few other yes or no type of questions. Next comes the startup activities, where you have to answer questions like what is the problem the startup is solving, and how does your startup propose to solve that problem, etc. Where you are expected to give a brief summary of less than 250 words. And lastly, self-certification. That is, you have to upload the registration certificate. Next step in the process is getting the tax exemption, is accessing the section 80 IAC application form from the portal itself and fill the following details: the memorandum of association, board resolution document, if any, annual accounts of the startup for the last 3 financial years, and lastly, income tax return for the last 3 financial years. Next, we will look at the registration process for tax exemption of investors under Section 56. The first two steps remain the same, that is, register on the Startup India portal and then get recognized under the DPIIT. And then you can access the Section 56 exemption application form from the portal itself, which you can file to avail the benefit. And then you should receive an email from the CBTD, that is the Central Board of Tax Department, within 72 hours of submitting the declaration. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you that registration and recognition of only the following type of companies is possible: partnership firm, a limited liability partnership firm, and thirdly, a private limited company. So, ladies and gentlemen, at an ending note, I would like to show you a few more benefits that your startup can get if you get registered and recognized under the Startup India scheme, under the Partner Service section of the portal. The first one is cloud services. Registered companies can get credit for hosting the company website and can get to manage the business phone systems on the cloud. The next is management and enterprise software. Companies can make use of SaaS processes to automate organizational processes such as sales and marketing. The third service is legal advice. Startups can receive legal advices including company incorporation, compliance, and structuring. The fourth is the financial service provided for convenient banking and fintech services for running your business. And lastly, business services. Startups can make use of various tools and applications to scale up their startup. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Harnal, for the wonderful walkthrough. Members, do you have any questions? I'll allow you to open up any questions if you have.